Assalamu alaikum and marhaba. Welcome to Mesopotamia. So, after staying in Mardin, we decided to go towards the Syrian border because we heard of a city called Nusaybin and we chose to go and visit it. It was a bit daring on our part, seeing as it was really close to the Syrian border, but we thought, why not? We're up for an adventure, and why not go and discover and explore the city that many people have not really heard of or it's not really spoken about. The amazing and adventurous part of the drive was the fact that we were right near the Syrian border, and as you can see across the border there's no man's land, and beyond that there's the city of Qamishli, which is actually home to 200,000 Syrians, and it's actually quite far from Damascus. Finally reached the city of Nusaybin, and it was extremely cold, rainy and windy. So as soon as we reached the city, you have to go through a police patrol area. It's quite common when entering cities and towns in this part of Turkey, and by now we were pretty much used to it. There's actually a breeze going through, and I think that might have been because I was a tourist. So if you're a tourist, you're less likely to have problems here. So we finally reached the centre of Nusaybin. As you can see, the centre is quite thriving. The city is pretty small in size. It'll be a good idea for me to just drive along one of the main streets and tell you a few things about the city. The population is around 100,000 people, and considering where it is, being a part of Kurdistan, being close to Syria, it's home to Turkish, Kurdish and Syrians. So it's a pretty vibrant place with different cuisines because of that. As you can already see, the buildings and the structures look quite different to the rest of Turkey, and it's similar to what you'll find in parts of Syria. The city has had bad press in the past, and it's strongly patrolled due to its location, but we had no issues and we found the locals all friendly and welcoming. Up ahead you can already see some roadblocks and patrolling, which is quite common in the city. Our first stop was the Mor Yakub Kilisesi, which is known in English as St. Jacob Church, and the reason why it's called St. Jacob Church is because it was built by the Syriac bishop St. Jacob, and he was also buried under the baptistry, it's believed, so it was named St. Jacob Church. However, in 717, many hundreds of years later, the building and the surroundings were destroyed because of an earthquake, which is why you see ahead of you all the ruins. They made some excavations, and graves were actually found in parts of the area. Even skeletons were found laying on their back with arms crossed on their chest and faces towards the east, and no one really knows why that was the case. Gates were locked, so we couldn't really get inside and have a look, but we were told by the locals that it's even more fascinating and interesting inside. Oh well, maybe next time. Next door to the church you have the Zeynel Abidin Mosque, which was constructed in the 12th century, making it nearly 1,000 years old, although the minaret was a later addition. Together with the St. Jacob's Church, this mosque is actually a UNESCO World Heritage Site, which means that it gets proper preservation and it's legally protected by an international convention. It's called Zeynel Abidin Mosque because it's believed that the 13th generation grandchildren, which includes Zeynel Abidin and his sister, are actually buried here. So here at the southeast of the mosque you'll find what is believed to be the graves of Zeynel Abidin and his sister. You can also visit it from inside. It was one of the main reasons why we actually visited this mosque, to visit their tombs. The complex of the mosque is shaped in an open courtyard with a garden, which also happens to be a perfect selfie spot for the local youth. We were actually quite taken back by the amount of cut stone that was used in the construction and all the details that were really carved in. Though hands down my favourite part of the mosque has to be the minaret. It was constructed in 1956 and it stands quite visible from even a distance. Okay, so a 5-minute walk from the mosque you'd also find the place where it's believed that Salman Farsi rested when he arrived into the city. Although he may have stopped here, it's actually believed that he was instructed to go directly to St. Jacob's Church to visit the religious minister at the time and to learn all about Christianity from him. Okay, so we moved on and chose to end our trip by visiting the border of Syria and Turkey, seeing as we'd come so close. It was pretty quiet, not really anyone around, and it was quite sad that we couldn't enter. But it was quite interesting to see how an everyday scene of crossing borders now ceased to exist in this friendly city.